Spock's human side is explored quite intensively in this new episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, entitled Charades. Season 2, Episode 5. Let's get into it. So welcome back to the channel, everyone. Welcome to my latest review for the latest episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. As I said, Season 2, Episode 5. And this episode is titled Charades. So let's just delve straight in. There may be spoilers, or there will be spoilers in this review. So if you haven't yet seen the episode, please consider jumping off, go watching it and coming back. If you don't care about spoilers, then stay on. So this episode here, we find the Enterprise en route to Vulcan, Vulcan space, where they are actually exploring this moon that used to be had a society of people on it who lived on it called the Krakowians. Long since departed, but there's an energy signature that they're drawn to. They've come to explore what this energy signature is. At the same time as this, we learn that Spock and his partner-to-be, to Pring, are preparing for an engagement ceremony, shall we say, a Vulcan engagement ceremony. They're not on board yet, but Pring is coming with her parents. But before this happens, Spock, along with Nurse Chapel, go and head off to this moon to explore what this energy signature is. Now, Nurse Chapel, we come to find out, has actually put in for a leave of absence, essentially, on board the Enterprise. She's applied to the Vulcan Science Academy, the medical part of it. Basically, she wants to get away. She wants to run away from her feelings for Spock, because as we know, her and Spock have had a little something to do in previous episodes last season, and she needs to get away from that, she feels. But while on this exploration, there's an accident. The shuttlecraft crashes, and Spock and Nurse Chapel, they survive the crash, obviously, and they're brought back on board the Enterprise. Only something has changed. We come to find out that the Krakowians have actually developed into an interdimensional species and are now living in interdimensional space. And at the point of this accident, they have decided to repair, fix the injuries that were sustained by Spock and Nurse Chapel. And they take away Spock's Vulcan side, because they read his DNA is mixed with another DNA, and they see her DNA, which is fully human, and they come to realise, or to the conclusion, that he's meant to be the same. So they remove all of his Vulcan DNA, thus making him into a human version of Spock. As you probably know, this episode will open up into the territory of humour, with me just saying that, and that's exactly what happens. It's a very light-hearted, humorous episode, but also with a lot of heart to it as well. Spock's mother comes on board the Enterprise, and this leads to some fantastic scenes. You've got this great scene where Spock goes to greet her, and he's wearing this woolly hat with a little Star Trek logo on, and she asks what the hat is about, why he's wearing that hat, and he says that it's you know, Starfleet's regulation, its uniform, to which Captain Pike turns around and says, I have one just like it, which is quite a chuckly moment. It's well delivered by Anson Mount. There's a couple of great humorous moments for him in the episode as well. So that's the basis for the episode, is that. I won't go into full plot details, but obviously we have the Vulcan ceremony that Spock has to partake in as a human while pretending to be Vulcan. We come to find out that on this crash, Spock actually, at the point of crashing, he diverted the shields to protect Nurse Chapel rather than himself, and this is why he sustained the injuries that he sustained that needed to be fixed by these interdimensional beings, because he was protecting her, because obviously he's got feelings for her. And this episode leaves with him and T'Pring taking a break from one another, and thusly we're left open with the possibility of him, or not even a possibility, it's going to happen, exploring his feelings for Nurse Chapel, and the two of these moving forward in a romantic entanglement. So for me, it was a good episode. It was a strong episode. I don't mind when Star Trek and that deviate off into the sort of realm of humour and have a nice light-hearted episode. But also, like I said, it does have a lot of heart with it, because it explores Spock's human side. It explores what it means to be Vulcan and the differences between the two species. And it also explores, in this great episode 4, Nurse Chapel and what she's going through and her feelings for Spock, her trying to run away from those feelings rather than confront them. And at the end, we are given that opportunity where we know that she's got to delve into these feelings, which is great. For a while, I thought the episode might give us the will they, won't they for an extended amount of time, which shows generally do. But, you know, which is great in itself, because we always want two interesting, likeable characters to get together when it is teased, and thusly it is teased here. So having the two of them come together might lead to some interesting storytelling, interesting scenes between the two. Ethan Peck in this episode gets to spread his acting wings, because he can step out of the shadow of being Spock and do things that's not usually written for as the character of Spock. So he gets some great comedic on-screen moments exploring that human side. The rest of the cast are pretty much forced into the background. You have Uhura, Ortegas and Chapel. They go on the shuttlecraft together to explore and go into this interdimensional space to confront the Krakowians. Obviously Chapel has got a big part in the episode, but characters like Uhura, Ortegas, the Doctor and even Pike are pushed more into the background, but they do have some great scenes that make you notice them. They've got kind of a less is more kind of an attitude, in the sense that they get some really strong scenes, especially Pike, which stand out and notice, even just quick seconds, snippets of seconds here, facial expressions, things like this, that make you feel like, you know, it's a worthwhile performance, even though in a reduced capacity, because he's delivering something somewhat different rather than just being in a chair giving orders or anything like that. So for me, a strong episode. Really enjoyed it. A lot of fun. And I look forward to seeing this relationship between Spock and Chapel blossom. Now, I know this may go against past storytelling in Star Trek, it's past history and this sort of thing from what we've seen in the series before. But do you know what? I'm beyond caring about that stuff, about continuity in that sense. It really doesn't bother me if this show wants to take a different tangent, a different leg, a different direction. I'm open for that. I'm not that entangled in Star Trek that it has to be continuity, 100% continuity driven from what we've seen before. So I don't care if they step on the toes of another series. I can still sit and enjoy them all. But anyway, so let me know your thoughts on this episode down below, and let's talk Star Trek. Let me know what you thought of it. Did you like it or didn't you like it? Did it work for you? Didn't it work for you? Yeah, let's talk about it.